family of cockroaches found living inside man's ear. He
Ah,
says, yeah, this is rough. He said his ear hurt a lot, like something was scratching or crawling inside. I discovered more than 10 cockroach babies inside. They were all running around. When a 24-year-old man known as Mr. LV uh, Live, I guess, rushed to the hospital with a sharp pain in his right ear, doctors encountered far more than they bargained for, according to the New York Post. Hospital staff soon found a family of cockroaches that had hatched near the man's eardrum and were living inside. The young man was admitted to Sanei Hospital in China's Guangdong province in October and told doctors that his family had already shown a light in his ear and observed what looked like a large insect nesting within. Dr. Yijin, an ear, nose, and throat specialist at the hospital, likely presumed this was just another case of common ear pain like many others he'd seen throughout his career. But things rapidly took a turn. He said his ear hurt a lot, like something was scratching or crawling inside, said Dr. Yijin. It caused a lot of discomfort. Doctors then looked inside his ear and confirmed that there was that confirmed what surely was the worst. I discovered more than 10 cockroach babies inside. They were already running around. In order to remove them, doctors essentially used a simple pair of tweezers small enough to do the job and pull out each cockroach one by one. Dr. Liv or Mr. Liv was soon rid of all his hatched cockroach babies and the mother that had laid their eggs. While the patient was actually rather lucky, the egg case of a German cockroach usually contains 30 to 40 eggs. He was also at least partially responsible for the problem in the first place. According to Sane Hospital's deputy head of ENT, Dr. Jiang Tenqiang, Mr. Liv admitted that his living conditions were rather unsanitary. He had a habit of leaving food out in the open overnight right next to his bed while he slept, causing a flurry of insects to go rummaging around in his sleeping area. Despite his carelessness, the patient ultimately suffered only minor injuries that have likely already healed since the October incident. He was discharged on the same day with a simple prescription for antibiotic ointment. Dr. Chen Jing also made sure to provide him with basic preventative advice that anyone would be wise to follow, unless they would want to host a family of insects and intruders in their skulls. Practice good hygiene, disinfect drains and sewers, use mosquito nets and screens on windows. That'll stop insects from flying or crawling into your noses and ears. Man, that is, I think, everyone's worst nightmare.
it's pretty bad. I mean, it's one of those things where you would like to think that, like, if a cockroach got in your ear while you were sleeping that deeply, that you would notice, but like maybe you wouldn't. You know what I mean?
I mean, he had discomfort, you know, I mean, he felt it.
But I mean,
I,
didn't he feel like after it had already gotten in there and like laid some eggs or hatched?
yeah, I mean, the mother was alive. She was walking around. I'm sure let's see, it caused a lot of discomfort. He said there was scratching or crawling inside. Um, it doesn't say how quickly he felt that though, like when he started feeling those symptoms. Maybe it was after there was 10 cockroaches crawling around in his ear, but boy, I mean, I mean, I get like itchy, you know, just thinking about bugs. Like it's like ingrained in us. Like even when we're sleeping, to like, you know, because we used to sleep out in the open on the ground in nature. You know, like just creepy crawlies or something you just don't
Yeah.
want on your body. You move around. You think about it. You know, even now when we live in houses, and this guy had him in his ear. Oh my gosh.
Man, I don't know if this is a true story or just an urban legend I heard as a kid, but I definitely like remember hearing the story that like this woman, I don't know if it was in her ear or just her hair. I think it was just her hair. Like
I think I've heard this story.
a black widow like made home in her hair, and
Yeah.
then it gave birth to like a bunch of babies, and it ended up like
Yeah.
killing this woman,
Hmm.
and that's horrifying.
That is horrifying. I think we've talked about this before. Like, I one time stepped on a pregnant spider, and thousands of little eggs, like those spiders, came out of there. Like, just it
Me
was just
too.
insane.
Yeah, I had that same experience. The first job I worked in a department store, I was in the back, and there's this huge spider, and I stepped on it, and same thing, just all these little spiders come out, and I'm just like trying to stomp as many of them as I can. But yeah, that is a horrifying thing to
Yeah.
witness.
I just don't think spiders can ever be eradicated, man. Not when they can have that many kids.
God, I know it's so insane to think about how many insects and spiders there are in the world. It's just like
Yeah,
so dense with them that it's like holy crap.
for sure.
I
I
think
mean,
about that.
especially in tropical environments.
Yeah. Oh God, and they get some nasty ones there. But like even here, we get those sugar ants really bad, and it's like we kill so many of those things, and they just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And it's like, oh my God, there's
We
so
get
many.
gnats. We have a lot of fruit in our house. We get gnats. But I mean, there's an easy way to kill them too. Like you just put out some vinegar and soap. You put them in a bowl, and they die by like in 2 days. They're all gone. Maybe a week tops.
Yeah, well, sugar ants, they say to, and we've done this several times. Is you basically dip cotton balls in like the solution of like borax and sugar, water, whatever,
Mhm.
and like they come down and they get it, and like it works. It like kills like a bunches of them, and then you
Mhm.
might have like a day or two without ants, and then they're just back. It's just like,
Oh
oh my
man,
God, you kill
it's
like
a
so many,
never-ending supply.
never ending. It's so crazy.
Yeah.